warm welcome back to Tastiest Life Possible. This episode I'm going to teach you how to make my own recipe that I came up with a few years ago that I'm absolutely addicted to. It's bitter melon fried in a dry masala curry powder. It's a very simple dish, completely vegetarian and super simple to make, and the fun thing is we get to use these delicious spices in our dish, because sometimes there are moments when I really crave that spicy, sweet, kind of colourful, delicious taste in my life. So what I've got here are the Thai and Indian version of bitter melon, but you can use Chinese bitter melon, the really big ones, in this dish. The main thing we need to do is to slice them really thin, and we're going to salt them as well so that some moisture comes out of them and we get less of that strong bitter flavour that can overpower the dish. So when you prepare these things, you will need a spoon, because inside are these kind of fluffy membranes and seeds inside. So when you cut them in half lengthwise, you're going to need to scrape out that fluffy inside. So go ahead and prepare your bitter melon, and once you've done completely hollowed them out, all of them from the insides, we're going to slice some onion and then we're ready to fry. So my onions are sliced, my bitter melon is sliced, and I've also salted it so that it draws some of that bitter liquid out. And we're ready to go. I've just portioned out 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds. I've got a teaspoon of masala curry powder and half a teaspoon of turmeric, and that's ready to go. I've also got 2 cardamom pods that I'm just going to squish so that their nice fragrance will come out. And so that's ready to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and rinse my salt off the bitter melon, otherwise you'll have a very salty dish. And then we'll go over to the stove. So here's how it goes down. Turn on to a high heat. And what we're going to do is heat some oil. I'm using rice bran oil because it can heat to a very high temperature. Just probably 2 tablespoons. A good way to test if your oil is hot is by putting your wooden spatula into the oil, and as soon as you see little bubbles there, you know it's hot enough. So I'm going to go ahead and add my spices. Immediately you can hear that nice sizzle. Without any more hesitation, we're going to add the onions, and we're going to continue to stir fry the onions until they are very soft. Just be patient. Now I feel like my onions are at a good point where they're nice and soft now. So I've got my bitter melon next to me on the ready. I've had to drain it really well because we don't want too much moisture in this. And I'm going to turn the heat up a little higher again to a medium-high heat. And in will go the bitter melon. Now I like to salt mine with just regular sea salt. But you can go ahead and use a fish sauce if you would like to. I feel like the dish has so many flavours already that it really doesn't need any other flavourings. That's why I choose salt. So I'm going to have a little try. You want to make sure the bitter melon is nice and soft and tender, and we need to check for salt. Now we're almost ready to serve. You can either serve yours in a big serving dish to share amongst other dishes and rice between friends or family, or I'm just going to eat mine topped on rice, Perhaps you could even have an egg on top if you like. That's a quick lunch for me. So I've got freshly cooked organic rice. Actually, this is a nice dish to experiment with different kinds of rice. And this is a little trick for you. Put it in a bowl and then voila, it's a nice little mound. That's a tricky little chefy thing. And I'm going to carefully place my just cooked bitter melon. Make sure you get all those nice spices from the bottom. It's just straight onto this side of my rice. You could even top this with some fresh cucumber, some fresh tomato, or some coriander, fresh coriander. But it is a very lovely lunch to be having, and I beg you to try it. It's a bit unusual. You might have to find bitter melon in your Asian grocery store, but please give it a try. It's delicious. So go to ponytailjournal.com, where there's plenty more recipes like these, as well as many travel guides around the world and some great style advice too. Thanks for watching. I wish you happy eating. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and even Snapchat or Facebook at Ponytail Journal. And please subscribe to this channel for more goodness to come. Thanks for watching again. Bye! เมาแล้วเดินโชว์เชฟนุ่งทรงเด็บหัดเต้นทวิตขึ้นมะพร้าวไม่ยอมปลิดมันขอคิดเงินเดือนจากเรา